Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Welcome to the Ginette Biro Podcast. I'm so excited to have you all here. Truly grateful as always. And I really have to say it again. I really appreciate the comments, the shares of your stories, the insights, all of that kind of stuff. It's just this kind of beautiful community energy that's building in the sharing of stories. And I really feel that the sharing of stories is such a beautiful way for us to learn from one another. So I appreciate you guys listening to my stories, to the guides, the insights that come through. And I love when you guys share yours in the comments and, when you reach out in emails too. So thank you. So we have the November energy update this month. If I could express it in one word, based on the imagery that I keep seeing from my guides, is explosive. Now, let me say that explosive does not mean bad. Explosive can be fast change, fast revelations, fast revolutions, things that occur quickly with energy behind it, right? So it's not just a slow crumbling, but like bigger things unfolding, happening, some crumblings, but with purpose to make things happen faster. So that's how I really want to define the word explosive. The energy behind it is like very purposeful. And so I really want to start off by saying is to not fear the tower moments. And when we really approach life with not fearing the tower moments, we can then see how some tower moments can actually be beautiful endings, beautiful closures, beautiful completions. Sometimes they can also be the universe kind of helping us by just knocking it over. And then we don't have to do all the finite pieces. We can kind of just like, when you tear a house down, you just tear the house down, get it all out, and then you rebuild instead of trying to kind of renovate, right? So there's some things that are going to be like tower moments that we're going to see this month. Now, I also want to say, not everything is going to be a tower moment this month either. So it's not looming crumblings walking around, like hovering around you. It's not that either. It's just there will be some pieces. Now, whether that is personally for you or we see it in the collective of humanity, we will see some things. Now, the reason why that's happening is there's a big convergence of opposing forces at play right now. So like we could say light versus dark, just for the explanation. There are forces pressing against each other, and it's kind of like when you have, two tectonic plates pressing against each other, something has to give. We're at a point in where something has to give. And so we're going to see some shifting energies. But again, that's to be moving humanity forward, propelling humanity forward. So I really want to say that this was triggered into this kind of next phase of galactic awareness and communication. Spirit called it the galactic quadrant that we're in. And if you want to know more about that, I talked about that just recently in Cosmic Consciousness. So you can check that out if you wanted to go back and get that one. But this increase in communication is not just us with the galactic community, but it is us also within our own communities, with our spirit guides, with our family members, with our sense of self. Greater communication going on for greater clarity, so that any of the crumbling things, the things that need to be moved out of the way, can do so with the most amount of clarity and support. And that's why I also want to say, we don't have to fear this heightened energy. We don't have to fear these kind of crumbling or tower moments. They're actually in our favor. Things are unfolding to reveal other things so that we can rebuild and maybe build bigger than we thought before, right? So it's actually quite a beautiful thing. And this was really kicked off with what I was saying before by the eclipse that we had. So we're in the eclipse season right now, and we had the first one on the 25th, October 25th, with the new moon. So that was a solar eclipse, and that was powerful transformation. And Spirit had said, and if you guys saw my video on YouTube, I talked about how Spirit said it was like drawing a line in the sand of completing karmic cycles, karmic stories, having them complete so we can really move forward without the baggage. And so that part of that is that crumbling energy. So I want to just really clarify, because some of you may have already had the crumblings and now you're kind of sweeping things up or already rebuilding, right? And maybe you've already rebuilt a huge big piece, but now you're rebuilding, a secondary piece or a smaller piece. So again, I don't want you guys to feel the fear energy around the word explosive. That just means lots of movement behind it. I could also compare that to the Eight of Wands card in tarot. That's fast moving change communication, okay? So the eclipse brought this really transformative energy that really, like I said, was kicking that wheel of karma into the next phase, like clicking it over one so that lots can be completed. And so many of you are going to feel this kind of freedom or letting go of cords that allows more forward movement. So if you're noticing that right now, embrace it and run with it. That's a really good thing to fuel your energy. And if you're not feeling that yet, then that's coming. It's coming. It's right around the corner. So part of this coming is we will be noticing, part of the ways to help support this experience is we will be noticing more third eye pressure, more third eye opening. That's been coming through the card readings a lot as well. So third eye opening to really increase the communication in dream state. So again, we're still going to be having a lot of communication happen in dream state throughout this month to help support us in our movement forward. And if you find you're not remembering your dreams or struggling to remember them, really try and set that intent before you go to bed that you remember them. As well, keep a dream journal with you near your bed. And when you wake up in the morning, you can tune in and write down even if it's one word or a mix of words that don't make sense, or maybe it's an image or a symbol. Write them down and you'll start to gain more clarity as you create that pathway of memory into your conscious mind. So you bring the things from your subconscious and your dream state into your conscious mind. And so you can increase that. It's like a neuroplasticity type thing. So dream state's going to be really specific and important in the communication tools. So if you want to know more about that, listen to the podcast from last week, the Dream State Gateway, where I talk about the theta brainwave state. That's really going to help you because on top of that, we have a thinning of the veils happening right now. If you're watching the podcast today, it is Halloween. Happy Halloween. And so the theory is that Halloween is always this time when the veils are very thin. But this thinning of veils is going to be throughout the month of November. Spirit showed me these kind of two orbs. If you picture two spheres, two orbs kind of converging together and slightly overlapping, they're saying that's what's happening with dimensions right now. So we're having this convergence of dimensions, which means it's very thin. We can feel more into different realms, different states of awareness, heightened intuition. It can show up in many different ways. So with this, though, this is allowing our guides to come very close. And whether people are conscious of it or not, this is a really cool thing because for those that are in, say, for example, big positions of power, their guides can step in even closer right now so that when these crumblings happen, the guides of the light, of the highest good, of, those that are really involved in humanity's ascension for good, can come in closer with intuitive insights, beautiful guidance as to how to rebuild better, right? So that's why this explosive energy, this crumbling is really a good thing and working in our favor because the light or those working for the highest good are able to come in really, really close right now. And the other great thing is that with the amount of awakening and ascension that people have been doing, we've actually opened up this great energetic structure that can support the higher realms coming in closer and closer. So it's very, very cool. It all kind of ties in together. Now, the other thing is I did speak last month about the solar flare activity. So we're going to be seeing still increased solar flare activity. And if you want to know more about that, again, that was another cosmic consciousness circle that you can go back and get. This increased solar flare activity is helping to bring in higher consciousness. And so we're going to see more of that. But what I want to say with that is when we have increased solar flare activity, it has a direct effect on our energetic fields. So I would be curious if you guys notice, if you can remember in the moments when you're feeling really extra wobbly in the day, when you feel really, like everything's just kind of all over the place, you can't quite figure it out in your energy, and you look online to see, is there an increase in solar flare activity? And in fact, there is. You can put the 2 and 2 together and see how it's interacting. It's really quite cool to see. So keep an eye on that to give you an indicator of the energetic thing happening that is helping you to then become more aware and answer accordingly. Meaning your conscious choice makes a huge difference. And so what you choose to do about the way you're feeling, the triggers coming up, the insights coming in, is where your PowerPoint is. You get to do amazing things with what you choose to do, right? Your choice really matters. What you do matters. So consider that. Now, the other thing I want to say too is with this increase in communication with your guides, there is, of course, Spirit saying, please, connect in with us, connect in with the, thin veils. It makes it easier for us to communicate, but also at the same time, be your own safe space. So if you feel an energy coming in and you're just like, I don't trust this, this feels weird, feel free, feel the freedom to set a boundary there. You absolutely are allowed always. So set boundaries where needed with the energies at play right now. Of course, we know we can do that with people, but this one's specifically to the energies, and that can even go to the collective energies in general. So it's not one particular spirit or thing, it's the collective energies. When they feel overwhelming, you can also set a boundary with your own energy that you're not going to take part in it. You're going to step away from it for a little bit. And sometimes we do that by being very 3D, by watching a movie, by doing a workout, by, maybe turning your phone off for the night. And you just simply spend time with your family or your pets or your spouse or your friends, right? You spend time being very 3D, and that allows you to recalibrate. And so you really get to be your own advocate for safe space and what that looks like. Right? Maybe part of your safe space is not overindulging in the news right now, right? Maybe it is. Maybe you researching and indulging in the news and then researching, other aspects of it to find the full story creates that safe space for you. If that's the case, then do that. But be choosy in what you do with the energies at play this month. Because again, with this converging of not only thin veils, but converging oppositional energies, that's a lot of stuff kind of pushing and whirling around our own frequencies, so you get to determine what you're going to take in and what you're not. You are a sovereign being that has the ability to set boundaries where you need. Now, at the same time, if I go back to deepening communication, like Spirit was saying, but specifically the deepening communication with self, I would definitely encourage that this month. Spirit really wanted to say that now is a great time to go within and uncover your true feelings, especially during this eclipse window that we have. We will have the next eclipse on the full moon, So we have like a 2-week window right now, well, about a week and a half window of heightened energy to amplify the internal nature of our energy, meaning it can shine a light on the things that don't feel good within. Old stories, old narratives, old energies, old shames, old guilts. It can highlight those so they can be cleared out. It can also highlight the good things, but with the energy being in Scorpio right now, Scorpio really represents kind of like that underbelly, those dark, underground, hurtful experiences, the times in our lives when we've felt like we're scraping across the bottom in some form. That's kind of that energy of Scorpio. Within relation to what I'm talking about. So that's why this soul searching is really kind of putting an emphasis on those hidden corners that we haven't cleaned out, things that are coming up within. Soul searching, time spent within, is so valuable right now because it is so energetically supported by the higher realms. So whatever we go in to do, we're very supported energetically, specifically with the number 4. And the number 4 repeated as well. So whether that comes as 2 4s, 3 4s, or even 8, being a doubling of the number 4, for any of you seeing a lot of numerology, that is the universe saying we are supporting you. We are supporting you doing this inner work. We're supporting this transmutation that's happening within, because the energy of eclipses really allows transformation, right? It's a beautiful thing. And what this all does, what these energies of November are doing for us, these convergings, these towers, these clearings, these transformation, this communication, this dream state, solar flare, thinning veils, all of that is giving us the ability to create the life based on the intentions we set out to the universe. Essentially, giving us the ability to manifest magic, to manifest the energies we want in the world. And that always starts with us. That starts with how we feel about our lives. That starts with where we stand in our life, what our beliefs are, where the shift from limitation to really feeling unlimited in what can be. Magic is this beautiful word that has kind of been dumbed down a little bit, because truly it encompasses this idea that anything is possible even outside the realms of known physics, right? So whether that be healing, whether that be spirit communication, whether that be new ideas and innovations that we couldn't fathom right now, but yet they can actually be made real, right? So we have this ability to be manifesting magic. And that's what I really want to leave you guys with today with the message, is all of these things happening are giving us the reawakening to the magic within each and every one of us. And when we believe and we embrace and we allow that magic within us to flow outward, then we start to see beautiful collective magic. And that's when humanity becomes magical again, right? We become higher ascended beings of consciousness, which we are essentially on that trajectory to get to. And many of you listening are. And so it's an encouragement to dive in deeper to that beautiful magic within. So when you can hold on to that piece as being part of your purpose, you can see how the crumblings, the towers, the deep corners that you're clearing out, those are all just helping you create a beautiful foundation. Those are all just helping you create better support to the structure of your life. Those aren't things that have to tear you down. Those are things that can make you stronger because of your conscious choice. So that is what I wish to leave you guys with for this month. Really communicate with your guides. Let them know what's working for you, what's not. Let them know your perspective here on Earth, because they're not here on Earth. They're guiding, but they're in a different frequency. So really feel the freedom to communicate with them, to let them know what's going on, how you feel, and then see how their, open, thin-veiled communication comes back at you, specifically in dream state. So I'll leave that with you guys for today. I hope you have an amazing month, a month full of growth and change and ascension and laughter too, because I just find that whenever we can laugh at something as we're moving through and changing, even in the awkward phases, the goofy phases, laughter allows us to bring in the totality of the experience. So I also wish you so much laughter for this month. So have a beautiful week, you guys, and I will see you again next week. And as always, please do share this if you feel this message would benefit anyone. And if you're wanting to deepen your own growth and awakening, check out avalonspirit.com. We have lots of beautiful things there, but especially check out the Cosmic Consciousness Circle if you're curious about these deeper topics that I'm talking about. So I will see you guys later.